Ben McKee, Patrick Brown with GoVols247 here in Pittsburgh, where Tennessee has a big top 25 matchup right behind us at Heinz Field. Yes, it's Acrisure Stadium, but the Steelers fan in me refuses to call it anything but Heinz Field. Patrick, big top 25 matchup, number 17 Pitt, number 24 Tennessee. Your keys for Tennessee today?
Well, I think defensively starting out, I think Tennessee has to be able to stop Pittsburgh running the football. That's what the Panthers want to do. They want to come out and play a little smash mouth. You could see that like they did against West Virginia last week. And then I think if Tennessee's able to get Pitt in some third and longs, some passing situations, they got to get pressure on Keaton Slovis. He's a guy that if you give him time and a clean pocket, he can pick you apart. And Tennessee's secondary, I think certainly is still a question mark this early in the season. Offensively, I think Tennessee has to capitalize when they get opportunities. They're going to get one-on-one on the outside with Cedric Tillman, Brew McCoy. We'll see how they use the tight ends in this game. They have to take advantage of those matchups when they have them, and they have to be able to run the ball. Can't be in third and long. Can't be in the situations where Pitt can pin its ears back with its aggressive front. They've got some really good players up front on the defensive line and linebacker, and so Tennessee's got to be able to run the ball to stay ahead of the schedule. And when they get those opportunities to make big plays on the outside, they got to take advantage of them.
I think it's a fascinating matchup. I think Tennessee has several matchups that favor them. I think Pittsburgh has matchups that favor them as well. I think it's a pretty evenly matched up football game today, and it should be one that is kind of a 50-50. Like either team is capable of winning, and simply put, the team that plays better football, mistake-free, makes the fewer mistakes, is probably going to win this football game.
Yeah, that's what cost Tennessee in this game last season. They had 13 penalties, 3 turnovers. Had the fourth down there that was a questionable spot on the third down before, and then they threw the interception there late. So you got to capitalize on the opportunities you get, and you can't make mistakes. Tennessee, I thought, played pretty clean against Ball State. I think only 6 penalties. If they keep it to around that number, I think they have a good chance of winning this game, and if they're able to win the turnover margin as well. But it's the little things. I'm with you, Ben. I think it could be a back-and-forth game, a little bit like it was last year with some ebbs and flows and momentum swings throughout the game, and it could go down deep into the fourth quarter. So, and in those situations, it's those little things that are going to make a big difference.
Yeah, and I think that this game is really going to be won and lost in the trenches as well. Pittsburgh's defensive line going up against Tennessee's offensive line. If Tennessee can sustain a Pitt defensive front that has NFL guys within that defensive front, I think that probably means Tennessee wins the football game. And then obviously last week, Tennessee doesn't have a sack on the stat sheet. Probably looks worse than what it actually was in terms of generating pressure, but Tennessee has to win in the trenches today.
Yeah, it's a step-up game. It's a challenge game for those guys. They have to win on the line of scrimmage in the SEC, and this is a team, especially on defense. Pitt looks like an SEC defense. They have some players who would not be out of place playing in that league. So you're gonna have to step up and be able to meet the challenge physically. You're gonna have to bring your hard hat and play really hard and move some people off the ball and block and tackle. All those things are always important in every football game, but it's going to be that way as well. And if you're Tennessee, we're going to find out how good this offensive line is. How good can these left tackles hold up with Gerald Mincy and Jeremiah Crawford? Can they play with the edge they showed against Ball State defensively? Can they keep Pitt from running the ball? Because Pitt's going to throw some 2 tight ends. They're going to put extra offensive linemen on the field. They're going to have a fullback, which Wes Rucker will really like. So if Tennessee can meet the challenge in the trenches, I think they give themselves a really good chance to win this game.
Yeah, and one last thing to hit on real quick, something that I'm fascinated to see what Pat Narduzzi does. He wants to load the box and stop the run. If you do that, you're leaving Cedric Tillman out there on an island. Brew McCoy, Jalen Hyatt, a little less proven but certainly capable of beating a team. Is Narduzzi going to switch things up and maybe commit more guys to out there on the perimeter to defend the receivers, or is he going to be stubborn and really make sure that they stop the run? Because even if they commit extra guys to the perimeter, Tennessee will be perfectly fine handing the ball off.
Yeah, that's what this offense does. They make you play in space. They make you play man if you don't want to play man. So that's something that's why I always think Tennessee's offense is going to put up points. And Pitt's going to try to slow the game down, limit possessions. Tennessee's going to play how it is, and those clash of styles are going to be really interesting.
Absolutely. He's Patrick Brown. I'm Ben McKee. The entire GoVols247 crew is in Pittsburgh. We've got plenty of coverage coming your way at GoVols247.com.